up YouTube? How you feeling? What's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is Sunday probably. If you hear people in the background, unfortunately I am not filming in my own house. As you can see, you get a different background. I am currently in Philly, staying with my family because, you know, quarantine and depression don't mix, and they also don't mix really well with my channel either, and that's why I haven't had a video in like a week. So yeah, we're not going to talk about it. One thing I am going to say, if you are a fan of my channel, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I finally am almost to 400 subscribers, so thank you to everyone who subscribed in my absence and everyone who's still here that still comments on everything that I do. Y'all are amazing, but something that I realized is that I can only upload as much as my depression allows me to. And this week was a hard one. Why do you think I drove 12 hours to come to Philly? So, you know, your girl was going through it. But this weekend I decided a classic is being, having a sequel, right? Coming to America, right? So I'm here with my parents who introduced me to this movie. Okay, it's my dad, one of my dad's faves. My dad loves Eddie Murphy, so we all watched this movie together as a family. So don't come at me for my opinions because my parents agree. Okay, this is not just a millennial being like, oh my god, this is so bad. My parents agree with this opinion, and that is, don't watch this movie. If you love the original movie, don't watch this movie. First of all, you don't have to see the original, in my opinion, to watch this movie, because pretty much everything that's important from the original is explained in this movie. Like, they give you a whole recreation of the movie, and they add stuff to the movie that was unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. So like I did for Malcolm and Marie and Framing Britney and Judas and the Black Messiah, I'm not gonna go through a full-blown blow-by-blow movie review like I do for most of my Friday videos, right? My girl's gonna take a black cars, my top 100s, things of that nature. I'm not gonna do that. So what I am going to do is give my thoughts on certain things and kind of rate this movie. I'm gonna rate this movie. I haven't rated the other ones. I'm gonna rate this movie. Now, this movie, if you are a fan of the original and you want to watch something that may or may not be funny, which spoiler alert is not, you're gonna need you a drink, and I had me one. Because girl, now look, there are many things about this movie that are bad, okay? The script, bad. The acting for some people, bad. The direction, bad. And so the main parts of this movie that's bad is kind of like the background stuff. Like, Eddie Murphy's not a horrible actor. I mean, his more later stuff has been questionable. Arsenio Hall's not a bad actor. You know, even the younger people in this movie, the guy who plays his son, I didn't realize he was the guy from Sorry to Bother You, where they have that like argument, like, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm gonna put that that clip in here. It's one of my favorite scenes from a movie. It's so freaking hilarious.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I hope you have a good day.
Hope you have a better week.
I hope your month is full of successful days and a lot of great ventures. I hope you just come up, brother.
I hope your whole fucking year is spectacular.
Oh.
But that's him, and I actually like him in this movie. He plays, do I want to spoil this movie? You know what, F it, it's so bad. Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it. Okay, so the point of this movie, and this is the reason, this is part of the reason that made me upset, is because what I was getting to was that everybody in this movie is pretty good. The problem is the script and the direction, and I realized it's the same people who made Blackish. Now, you may like Blackish, and I feel like if you like Blackish, you'll like this movie. I do not. No shade to Tracy Ellis Ross, love her, huge fan. Anthony Anderson, can take or leave him, yeah. It also has Jennifer Lewis and Lawrence Fishburne, both legends. So I wanted to like this show. I wanted so bad to like this show, but just like this movie, there's so much like overwriting to seem modern, or overwriting to seem hip, or overwriting to seem woke, and it's annoying. Like, I don't know if they're trying to get millennials and like Gen Zers to like this movie by making it seem like it's so woke in 2020 and like, but it's horrible. It's not done well. They try way too hard and it's bad. And I realized it's the guy who made Blackish, so then I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes so much sense because he's not funny. Nothing I've seen that he's made me laugh. So he has like 4 different spin-offs to Blackish. He has Grownish and Mixedish, I think there's another one that's coming out, his Black AF, which was not funny either. I can't take that man seriously. So, cause he's the person who wrote this movie, once I realized that, I was like, girl, I'm just gonna chalk this up to a watch, and let it go. But yeah, I mean, the storyline is essentially James Earl Jones, who is Prince Akeem's father, the king of Zamunda, he is dying, and they have a funeral for this man while he's still alive. Now, at first I was like, what kind of, but then I was like, you know what, because then you can see it and you can enjoy it, and then you can die knowing that they came to you while you were still alive. So I get it, but he dies at his funeral, so fitting, I guess, yeah. And so he, Prince Akeem, who's played by Eddie Murphy, is now the king, right? And Arsenio Hall, before his father dies, his father is, for some reason, if you've seen the original, this doesn't make any sense. Like, his father was pretty stern, but he wasn't as mean as he was in this movie. Like, he's talking about some, oh, you're a sissy, and you got these, all you had was daughters, and you're a disappointment because you didn't have any sons. And I'm like, this is not giving me the same vibes as the original movie. Now, granted, it's been a minute. I was planning on doing a full-blown, like, blow-by-blow review of the original before I did this, but again, I can only upload as much as my depression allows me to. I'm so sorry. And I'll talk about it at the end of my actual schedule for a minute. And also, I just driven 12 hours and I was kind of tired, so I didn't make a review. But yeah, the original, his dad was stern, his dad was very much traditional, but he didn't seem like he was as mean to his son. Like, it seemed more like a, I'm the king, I am being what a king is supposed to be. But now he seemed like he just being mean, okay? And he's like, you don't have a son, who's gonna take over the throne when you die? And Arsenio Hall tells Prince Akeem, I know his name is Simi, because this actually helps because I've seen the movie, the original, so I know their names. He's like, hey, you actually have a kid. And he's like, excuse me? And he tells him that apparently when they were out checking out all these girls, and this scene is in the original movie. The beginning part of the scene when they're talking to all the different girls and they're all crazy and weird, that is actually in the original movie. And I like the way that they remastered it. Like, it was cute, but then they add Leslie Jones to this movie. If you think Leslie Jones is funny, then you may like this movie. I, however, again, do not. So they add Leslie Jones to this movie, and she apparently, Arsenio was trying to smash her friend, and she gave Prince Akeem, who's played by Eddie Murphy, some weed, and he got high and she took advantage of him, apparently. Now, that they said that they found out that he had a son from that incident, and that is why he has a son. So my camera died. Anyway, so one of my biggest problems with this movie is that throughout this movie, he now finds out he has a son. He goes to visit him in New York. He takes him home. And one thing that Leslie Jones says in this movie is, I think you're his father. There has never been a part in this movie where they found out if he was actually his son, which bothered me, because the point of everything is he needs to have an heir because his father died, and he needs to groom an heir for when he dies, right? And in what's called Wakanda, in Zamunda, there is a law in which women cannot be leaders. Now, my thing is, you're now king of this land. Why don't you just change that law? Because he has only daughters. He has 3 daughters. One daughter who is very strong, very put together. She's been growing up in this country. And you're like, no, I can't let her be the leader. I can't change the law. I gotta go all the way to New York to find some random dude that I don't even know is my son. That's the premise of this movie. Now, like I said, once I found out that the writer and director of this movie was the guy who made Blackish, I kind of tuned out. But I very much tuned out once he got there, because the whole dynamic of that was so irritating. It was so irritating. The fact that his wife was perfectly fine with this. Like, she had a little bit of upset in the beginning, but she was like, all right, bet you can have your illegitimate child up in here that we don't even know is really your son. They're doing all these tests to make sure that he'll be a good prince, and he is failing at them. And now his daughter, who should have been the heir, is helping him out. And it's like, the bitter chick in me is like,
Girl, you could kill him.
But no, okay, no. But my thing is, like, so much about this movie was bad, mainly because first of all, it was not funny. No parts in this movie was funny, except for one. We gonna get there. But no part, actually the barbershop part when they went back to New York and they saw the guys from the barbershop. And I was like, weren't they like 80 in the original movie? How are they still alive? How? They gotta be dead by now. How? 30 years later, they still, okay, whatever. But they were only comic relief that actually made me laugh. Like I said, I liked the son who was with him as his son. He was not funny, but he wasn't a bad actor. His lines were actually believable, but the storyline wasn't believable. So it made him, as a believable character, not believable, because the fact that you're bringing this random boy who you don't know, who you've never met, who you don't have a paternity test on, into your house, in your palace to run your country, just because, and again, telling you parts of the story, apparently Wesley Snipes, don't get me started on Wesley Snipes, we ain't even gonna go there. My guy got out of jail and was like, I just need to check, okay? I just need to check, give me money, okay? But Wesley Snipes is apparently from the same place where the wife the woman who's supposed to be his wife, Prince Akeem's wife in the first movie, the barking girl, if you remember that part, the same place where they're from, and they now have a feud because he didn't marry her, so now he has to have a son to marry Wesley Snipes' daughter, who's played by Tiana Taylor. And oh girl, if there's anything you could take away from this, I just need to work out, because girl, her body, every time I see it, I'm just like, girl, why are you making me feel bad about myself? So they also had that. But yeah, so he now has to find a prince to take over, and I guess that's why he's so like ample to take on this random bull, because he don't even know him. But yeah, and so the premise is that, and I thought to myself, I said, there's so many other premises that they can make for this movie that has nothing to do with this. We could see that his daughter finds out that she can't be the heir of the throne. She goes off to America, and it's actually coming to America, because we really think about it, they didn't really come to America for that long, okay? The coming to America part was like the side plot, okay? So it's not even really about coming to America. It's more so about Zamunda and the things going on there. So what if his daughter went to America, she found out her independence, and she realized that she was her own person, and yada yada yada, and that would have been cute. That'd have been a cute little, because she was a good actor. She was good. His daughter, I don't know her name, but she is a very good actor. She was very well put together in this role, a believable character in this role. But the premise of this movie was just dumb. It was just dumb. Like, it is a very, we threw this together movie, and y'all had 30 years, so there are no excuses. You had 30 years. And the best part of this movie is the end. Because everything wraps up well, I will say that. Like, the beginning of the movie is so unbelievable and so annoying that you kind of give up. But the ending is fair. I'd give the beginning of this movie an F, because it's not funny. It's trying way too hard to be funny. Parts of it don't make any sense. The acting by certain people are horrible. It's trying too hard in the beginning of this movie to be funny and woke and, oh, we coming into the 20s. No, I like the original. Keep the original's energy, because I don't like this. I don't like when movies, and that's the downside about sequels to good movies, is that they try so hard to make it something it's not, when we could have just had a simple movie like the original. Prince Akeem, he wants to find his wife, he goes to America, he learns American things, and he becomes independent, and they could have literally recreated that story all over again, and I would have liked this movie. But no, we had to bring everybody cameo. Morgan Freeman was in this movie. Like I said, Wesley Snipes, they had Gladys Knight, they had freaking Salt and Pepper. They had everybody in this movie for nothing. None of that was part of it. The best part, the best cameo was Sexual Chocolate. It was the only part I laughed. And me and my dad were like, oh my god, it's about to be Randy Watson. It's Sexual Chocolate. Oh shoot, it's Sexual. That's the best part of the movie. If you saw the original, you know who I'm talking about. Sexual Chocolate was the best part. And even that was a little lackluster, but I still was laughing, so it was cute. But my takeaway, the beginning of this movie, like I said, is an F. The end is like a C+. Like, they wrapped up everything pretty cute, and it kind of seemed like the whole Wesley Snipes part was rushed, but that's because it was so unnecessary. And yeah, like the ending was fine. I feel like, I told my mom, I feel like if you like Madea movies, if you like that ha ha ha, we try to be extra to make you laugh movies, then you might like this movie, you might find this movie funny. But that's not what the original was. So that might be why I don't like this movie. And like I said, I told my parents, I was like, you know, I'm kind of a critical person. I analyze movies for the fun of it on a regular, so maybe it's just me. But they agreed, and my parents are pretty simple and the stuff they watch. Not coming at them, but like they're not like super analytical of everything. Like, we can sit and watch a movie and not think about the plots and the scripts writing if it's a pretty okay movie. But nobody in the McQueen household was laughing until Sexual Chocolate came out. Because that was the best part of the movie. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Coming to America. And like I said, I don't want to hate on it, because there's a bunch of like think pieces of people saying, what, black people are always coming down on movies and we need to understand that things change. Girl, it can change for you. My thing is, this movie, even if it was trying to be woke, I feel like, I told my dad, I feel like if it was written and directed by a different person, I might like this movie. I think the writing and directing was the problem. The problem was not the acting, because 99% of the people in this movie, besides a couple that I don't like, were good. And it wasn't really even the storyline could have made sense if they made it make more sense. Like, it just wasn't done well. That's it. Like, it wasn't done well. I really wish that somebody else wrote and directed this movie. That's my problem. Because, like I said, I like Lavelle. I think his name in the movie was Lavelle. I don't think his real name was Lavelle. I think it's like Jermaine something. I like him. I think he's a great actor. But if you want to sit through almost 2 hours to watch this movie and possibly feel the same way, go right on ahead. I gave you the premise of the movie, but I feel like watching it, if you like this kind of movie, will make you laugh, because some jokes may land for you that just were quite over my head. I did not like them. They were not funny. But yeah, that is my thoughts on Coming to America. I don't know why I keep doing that. Anyway, yeah, so let me know your thoughts. If you've seen the movie, let me know how you feel. If you don't want to see the movie, there's plenty of people who don't want to see this movie because they don't want to ruin the original movie, and I agree. I wish I didn't see this movie. Now granted, I did watch the first movie. I plan on watching the first movie later on today just to kind of get some nostalgia, because like every other movie review, I made this review right after watching it, so I might watch it after this to kind of like have a woosah moment with my alcohol, okay? Because girl, it's a lot of Jack with this coat. But yeah, if you've seen it, let me know. If you don't want to see it, let me know. If you've seen it and you liked it, please let me know why. I've seen plenty of people say they like this movie. I need you to tell me why. Was it funny to you? And also, if you think it's funny, do you think Madea is funny? Do you think Blackish is funny? Because neither one of those I think are funny. And I think they have the same kind of humor as those two. And maybe if you like those two, you will find it funny. But I don't. And like I said, I mean, I'm trying my best to upload as often as I can. I think the next 2 weeks, since I'm here and I have a little bit more stability and like not being in the house depressed by myself, I will be able to make my 3 a week as usual. When I go back home, it might be a little different, mainly because I gotta drive 12 hours. It's kind of exhausting, actually. So we'll see what happens that week. I might try to pre-record some stuff before I leave, but the next 2 weeks y'all gonna get some. And again, thank you so much for people who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I got content coming for y'all real soon, and I have a lot of content, okay? Because at one point I was uploading 4 times a day, 4 times a week, okay? So there's plenty of stuff. If you like music reviews, here. If you like movie reviews, here. If you like me just talking and rambling about stupid stuff, it is also here. Okay, I try to give y'all what y'all want, so if you want to suggest any other movies I watch, any other albums I listen to, or songs, or subjects you want me to talk about and rant about, put them in the comment section as well. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, put them in the comment section as well. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and I will see y'all on Monday, tomorrow, because I have already recorded that video. Look at me. I'm trying, okay? But yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.